In this video, I'm going to cover the Grey Knight Armory. I'm not going to talk about everything in the Armory. I'm just going to talk about the stuff that the Grey Knights normally use. The powerful stuff, the cool stuff, whatever, the lore, the fluff. They have a lot of really useful items in the Armory, so let's get started. Okay, to start things off, we got the Demon Hammer. This is for 30 points. It acts like a regular Thunder Hammer, but instead of reducing your initiative to 1, you go at regular initiative, but only when fighting demons. So, I mean, it's expensive, but you have to know that you're fighting demons. When I make lists, I try and go against all armies. I don't focus in on one. It makes things easier that way. Next thing, this is kind of cool. We got the Null Rod. The Null Rod is for 20 points, and what it does is no psychic ability can affect you or your squad, but you can't use psychic abilities in return. I just thought that was kind of cool. It's like, you can't touch me. The Incinerator. This one's really cool. It's 20 points. Okay, it's strength 5, AP 4, and you get no cover saves and no invulnerable saves. It's very nasty. Purgation squads can take 4 of these for, I think, 25 points. I don't know for sure. It might be 30. The next one is the Side Cannon. This is one of my favorites. It's for 30 points, and it's an assault and a heavy weapon. This thing's really nasty. Okay, ranges. If you use it as a heavy weapon, it has a 36-inch range. If you use it as an assault weapon, it has an 18-inch range. The stats for either side is Strength 6, AP 4, Assault or Heavy 3, and it ignores all invulnerable saves. This thing is really nasty. If you decide to hunker down, you can still get 3 Strength 6 shots off. If you have to assault, you still get 3 Strength 6 shots at AP 4. Consecrated Scrolls. These things are for 5 points. You can use it once per game. What it does is when you do use it, your Psyker can use more than one psychic ability that turn. So if you had like 4 or 5, I think the Inquisitor can take like up to 6 or something. That might be wrong. Correct me if I am. But say he does have like 4 to 5, maybe 6. Ooh. He uses this, he can use every one of them in the same turn. Once per game. This is ridiculous for 5 points. I would use it if you have an Inquisitor. If you don't have an Inquisitor, I wouldn't take it. You have 5 points that you can spend elsewhere. This is one of the most useless but funny ones. Okay, the Emperor's Taro. I think that's how you pronounce it. 10 points. What it does is at the start of the game when you roll to see who goes first, if you took this, you add 1 to your dice roll if the numbers of you and your opponent were different. Okay? So you roll a 5, I roll a 4, I get +1. It tied. You whoop-de-doo. Now if they're a tie initially, you roll a 5, I roll a 5, I get -1. So for 10 points, I'm getting something that allows me to tie. It's funny, but I find no purpose. I think Games Workshop was just trying to go, what? We need something else. What should we put in? Oh, I know, a tiebreaker. It's not even that. It makes ties. What the hell? This one's kind of cool. 10 points. It's called the Grimoire of True Names. I might have pronounced that one wrong too. Anyway, Grimoire of True Names. What this does is if you're in base contact with a demon, and you have this, the demon's weapon skill is reduced by half, rounded down. Again, I wouldn't take this because it specializes against demons. And I would like to have a list that can play everything effectively and not waste 10 points and I don't play demons. This one's simple and straightforward. Kind of expensive, but it's worth it. 25 points. Icon of the Just. It gives your character a +4 invul save. We've seen this before with other stuff like Iron Halo and stuff. It's worth it. 25 points to keep a character alive. Sounds good to me. For 10 points, you can get Side Cannon Bolts. These are cool. It replaces your Bolter, Storm Bolter, Bolt Pistol, Heavy Bolter, anything that has Bolter in it, or Bolt. It makes it AP 4, keeps the strength the same, but it ignores all invulnerable saves. I use these on my Land Raiders for the Heavy Bolter and the Storm Bolters, and it's really good for anything pretty much other than Space Marines, because it's AP 4, it just peels through most that you encounter. Yes. we come to the Sacred Incense for 10 points. I have to ask you guys really what this means. See, I'm really confused on this. It says Chaos Model. Well, what defines a Chaos Model? I tried calling Games Workshop, they didn't know either. So here, the community, help me out. What's the definition of a Chaos Model? Targeters, it's 1 point. What it does is the squad that you have attached to, you can pre-measure the range before you shoot. This is nice. I use it when I check range. I take a note to see if I can assault and charge. It's, I don't know, it's sly or whatever, but I'm allowed to use the tape measure, so I'm allowed to keep notes up here. This one I had to look on the internet to figure out how to pronounce it. Apparently it's unguent, according to freedictionary.com. Unguents of warding. Okay? These things give you a 4+ save against any psychic power. Say, I did my psychic test, it hits you, it's gonna hurt you. On a 4 or better, it doesn't do jack. So these things are nice, but it's 10 points. It's another filler thing that you'd use. If you're not going against psychers, that's 10 points that you'd lost. That's useless. So I don't know. I don't know if I would take it. Well, that pretty much sums up the list that I chose that were either useful or interesting. So I hope you enjoyed this video. The next one's going to be about the units themselves.